tell us a bit about just yourselves, where you're living, etc.?
Sure. So we both work in television, in drama, in different ways. We met at the BBC, where we both used to work. I just started a new job, actually, which coincided with lockdown and moving house.
Right.
So it was a slightly crazy time, but we've just moved to West Hampstead, which we both really love so far.
Where were you living before?
We were at Ella's dad's place in Ealing when we all got locked down. Prior to that, I was in Stoke Newington, and Ella was in Melbourne.
Great, okay. So what was the need to move during lockdown? Was it kind of an urgent move or something that was planned?
We sort of talked about it.
It wasn't urgent.
Yeah.
We were already planning to move in together. We had been living separately before. And that kind of, the timing just hit just at the wrong time, because Nick, as you might be able to hear, is Australian, and he'd been back home in Melbourne, which had slightly pushed when we were going to move. And then with the lockdown kind of came in, I had to move out of my old flat for various other reasons, and we ended up at my dad's, which was amazing of my dad, but also had its limitations. So we kind of we got to a point where we just thought, if it's possible to move in lockdown, let's just do it. So then we found Paramount, who were amazing in managing to facilitate it, because we were completely, it felt quite unclear whether it constituted essential travel or not, or whether it was a stupid thing to do.
We've been stuffed around by a few other people who, got quite deep in talks and took, deposits and things off us and everything, and then pulled out at the last minute. So we went through like 3 other places. The Paramount move was the third. First time lucky.
So we've been burnt before.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So your experience with Paramount was quite good. How was that journey?
Brilliant. It was really brilliant from start to finish, really. From my initial, because I spotted the flat just by chance online, and from my initial email asking about it to like actually moving in and getting everything set up, it was really brilliant. I think the best experience I've had moving in this country, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, fantastic. That's great to hear. And do you have any sort of general advice for anyone moving in lockdown? Is there anything that you sort of, looking back, you would do differently?
Just that it's surprisingly easy, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't have believed someone if they told me that, but the flat was unfurnished and we didn't have a lot of furniture.
But what we did have, we had no trouble moving. We found a really professional, helpful moving company.
Just did everything with, at a distance, and we wore masks, and that they kind of, we moved everything out of our house. They put it into the van. They moved everything basically to our front door, so they didn't come into either of our homes.
Yeah, fantastic.
And in terms of like everything's worked for us in terms of ordering new furniture and kind of getting everything that we needed. We haven't faced any of the problems we thought we would, really.
No, not at all.
No, absolutely. And the flat was all sort of ready when you got there. It was good standard, ready to go.
Yeah, it was great. It was perfect, like clearly professionally cleaned. We had one problem in that our oven wouldn't turn on, which was fairly major for the first few days. But then between Paramount and our landlord Matt, they sorted it really quickly. Works brilliantly now.
Yeah. I think that's the other preconception, is that if people are moving during this time, they kind of have to take what they're given. And actually, that's the case. We can get a lot of work done in a short space of time to make it nice for people.
Yeah, and it's really amazing how like every industry is just adapting. Like from the guy that came to fix our oven, who was wearing all the PPE, and we stayed in separate rooms. Like we didn't actually see him, but he was brilliant. To like the local shops around here that are all adapting.
To Spencer, who initially showed us around on his phone. Like that's. I think they've changed the rules now, haven't they? Slightly, so you can probably do viewings again. But
they have, but we're not. We're choosing not to. I mean, it works for us, and it's safe.
Definitely works.
So,
we were fine. It's a good way to maybe even a better way to do it, rather than it's a laborious task to go around to heaps of different flats to see them for the first time, only to be disappointed.
So straight in and think, no.
And the first video that Spencer sent us, like the great thing about that was that we watched it like 10 times, which is, you know, often you go and view something and you can't remember, like, oh, was that the one with the tiny bathroom or whatever, like, so that was really good. And then when we had an actual video call with him, we were able to like get him to open every cupboard and show us every nook and cranny, which was great. Like, and like Nick says, in a way it's actually better than going to see somewhere. It's weird.
Absolutely. Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, it's definitely something we want to not just use in lockdown and hopefully take forward, because it seems to
100%.
be a much better way of working. And I suppose finally, guys, so obviously you're our new neighbours in West Hampstead, so have you probably not had a huge opportunity to explore the neighbourhood, but what sorts of things are you looking forward to trying out once everything's reopened?
There's this place on West End Lane called Salt, and it looks like a really weird nightclub where the L on the sign is spelled backwards. So I just want to check out who's going there, because that just looks like a really weird place.
I've been to Salt once.
Oh, have you? What's it like?
It was a walk-in, walk-out job. It's not.
Yeah, I suspect it will be for us too. But yeah, very interesting looking place.
If you want a more serious answer, I used to live in Kilburn actually briefly, so I used to come to West Hampstead for like a nicer place to be, so I know quite a few of the really nice restaurants along West End Lane, so I'm really looking forward to taking Nick to some of them.
We got some fresh produce from a cafe that's open for the first this is their first time reopening and doing, like, you know, just selling their produce as takeaway groceries to people.
The Wet Fish Cafe, they've done that. So they're like, it's so smart. They've got like a whole shop set up basically, and they're selling like beer and wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Because obviously they've lost the farmers market, haven't they? Which is a big thing in West Hampstead.
Well, it was open the other day.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, fantastic. Oh, it's
Last
great.
Sunday it was open.
Well, that's good.
But going to that as well.
We're sort of equidistant between Hampstead Heath and Regent's Park, so we have been able to enjoy that. You know, so that's been really nice as well.
Meeting up with friends, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Remembering that people exist.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, look, thank you so much for your time. We're really glad you're happy, and it's been a pleasure dealing with you, and hopefully it will be many years to come.